What is up, guys? Project Mick here, back with another video. Appreciate all you guys' support on the most recent videos. Having a ton of fun making these videos, so I got another banger for you guys. So this video is going to be 15 tips and tricks to improve your progression in Stardew Valley, particularly for speeding up the process that it takes to get far into the game. These tips are perfect for you. So without further ado, let's get into tip number one. Tip number one is going to be to always pick up foraging material while you're running around the town. Now this tip can be done in two ways. It can either be taken as you go around find foraging material, or you just pick it up as you're going along. I found it very helpful just to pick up whatever it is on the ground. Here I have a berry. Whatever you find, I find it very helpful just to pick it up, just so you have that extra energy and food in case you need it for the mines, fishing. Foraging material always comes in handy, whether it's you're selling it for money, or you're using it to get farther in the mines because you run out of energy, or even fishing. Foraging material is a great way in Stardew Valley just to improve the amount of time you're able to actually do things, just because energy is a big limiter in the early game of Stardew Valley. So make sure you're always picking up all your foraging material, and I promise you will have much faster progression. Tip number two is gonna be to unlock the bus or the desert as soon as possible. And there is a reason for this. The desert in this game can be unlocked through the community center. It is done through the bus bundle. I believe it is this one up here. I've completed it, but you won't. Actually, no, I believe it's this one. It's the one that you have to buy with money. And I know it can be a lot of money and it can seem like a big investment, especially if you're early game, but I promise you, unlocking this as fast as you can will speed up your progression so much in Stardew Valley. There are a couple reasons for this. One, the trader there trades a lot of good stuff, especially for late game. The shop sells something known as starfruit. Starfruit in this game is the best crop to grow in terms of profit besides ancient fruit. If you can get your hands on starfruit, you should plant it always. They grow in the summer and spring. You always want to be planting your starfruit and buying them if you have nothing else. It's located right here at the oasis. You go right in, you'll meet Sandy, and she will always have these starfruit. The rhubarb seeds are also very good to grow. So yeah, the desert trader has a lot of things that can make you more money and speed your progression. The desert also has something very important called the Skull Caverns. Skull Caverns can be unlocked once you complete floor 120 of the mines, get to the bottom. And oh boy, is this ever helpful. Not only does this allow you a brand new thing to explore, it offers a brand new set of mobs, and most importantly, iridium, copper, gold, whatever ore you want to find, you can find in Skull Cavern. So this should be the priority. Getting to Skull Cavern, unlocking the desert, it speeds up progression, makes you so much money so quick in Stardew Valley. Tip number three is a very important one, especially for people who want to complete the community center within the first year. This helps you out a ton. It is going to be to check the traveling cart every Friday and Sunday. The traveling merchant comes to Stardew Valley every Friday and every Sunday, and she has a unique set of items all the time available. She comes right over here. I will show you guys. Right next to this tree, she will show up. It is not Friday or Sunday, so she's not here, but you always want to be coming here to check for the traveling cart, because she can have very rare things that maybe you missed in the season to add to the community center. This could be such as a red cabbage, a type of fish, a particular ore. She can really have anything, and she is very helpful in aiding you and just catching you up just in case you miss something for the community center. Tip number four is going to be to not prioritize animals early game in Stardew Valley. This will slow down your progression a decent amount, I feel, because animals in this game cost a lot of money, especially for early, and they don't produce as much money as a farm would. you have to get the drops, and on top of that you have to, if you want the maximum profit, you have to shove them into egg things for the eggs, into milk makers for the milk. You just have to really take a lot of time to actually get the profit out of them, and even then they just do not give enough profit compared to plants or crops in this game. So make sure you're avoiding animals and maximizing your crop value on your farm. Tip number 5 is going to be to get the horse as fast as possible. The horse takes stone, wood, and hardwood, so make sure you're going to the cindersap forest and mining those hardwood stumps. The horse makes Stardew Valley so much easier to get around. It makes the town way more accessible because you can get there so much faster. So make sure you invest in the horse as fast as possible. I got the horse as soon as I could, and I highly recommend it, as it makes traveling around Stardew Valley so much easier. Tip number 6 for improving your progression of Stardew Valley is going to be to invest in kegs. I cannot emphasize this enough. Make sure you're investing your money and your material into kegs, because they can provide a great source of extra cash. Any crop that you grow that can be kegged, you should always be putting in a keg. It just provides that more money that makes crop even more valuable, and they seriously are a grind, but they are seriously worth it. You can make so much money off of kegs, and it is absolutely important that you keep the kegs coming. Tip number 7 is going to be to make sure you hoe up every single spot on the ground that can be hoed up. These will look like little worms, little squiggling worms off the ground, and you should always be hoeing these up. This is because they can drop a lot of things that can aid you in the museum and in the community center. These especially are good because they have a chance of giving you an ancient seed, and the ancient seeds are your ticket to really maximizing profit in this game and seriously making what is like the top dollars for Stardew Valley, which is ancient fruit, and you need an ancient seed to do that. So make sure you are investing in hoeing up all of the ground that you see. They just look like little squiggly worms that are coming out of the ground. I haven't been able to find one, but you'll know when you see them because they're little animated worms. Oh, right there. Make sure you always hoe these up. Tip number 8 is going to be to try to establish a organized chest spot outside your farm as soon as possible. Having chests that are organized just makes getting things so much easier and crafting things so much easier. Organize it however you would like. I have wood in one, material in the other, gems in this one. So organize it however you would like, and just make sure you're organized because it makes crafting so much easier. And make sure to put it outside for easy access, as you will always be outside your farm. Tip number 9 in Stardew Valley is going to be to get to the bottom of the mines as fast as you can. The reason for this is because getting to the bottom unlocks Skull Cavern, and as we talked about before, Skull Cavern is pivotal to getting you the ores and even the profits that you need in this game to really take you to the next step and progress far. So make sure you prioritize getting to the bottom of the mines, get all the ore. It is very, very important that you do that as soon as possible, as the mines are something fun and they can provide a lot of utility for this game. So make sure you're prioritizing them. Tip number 10 is going to be to make sure you are always collecting every bush, every stone, and every wood that you can get your hands on. Do not throw any of it out. Always put it in a chest. This is pivotal because these are the materials that you will need to build a lot of things, and I found myself not having a lot of them for most of the playthrough. So make sure every time you go to the mines, every time you get rid of some grass with your scythe and chop down a tree, you always put those materials in a chest or use them right away, because I promise you there is going to be a time when you're going to need the material and you will not have it and you will regret this. So make sure you keep collecting these materials. Tip number 11 is going to be to plant hardwood trees ahead of time, because hardwood is the hardest material to get and is something that you need a lot of. Previously, before an update, you could only get hardwood from the cindersap forest, which was hidden, but now you can actually find these seeds and plant them yourselves. So make sure you're planting these ahead of time and harvesting hardwood, as I promise you, you will need it and you will not have it. So make sure you're planting these trees and you're harvesting them whenever you can. Tip number 12 is going to be to always pass out instead of sleeping in Stardew Valley. This is pivotal to your progress because it lets you get as much time as you can each day in Stardew Valley. Especially if you're following these tips, you have the foraging material. You can just eat when you wake up and negate that half energy loss that it comes with. And you can just do so much more stuff, whether that's chopping trees, talking to villagers, going to the mines. You can do so much if you use the whole width of the day instead of going to sleep at 5, 6, or 7. Just make sure you're always passing out at 2 p.m. because you will end up right back you were if you would have slept. Tip number 13 is going to be to manage the community center and try to finish it as soon as possible. Hopefully in the first year. If you cannot do that, as that is very hard, I understand. I didn't personally do that, but I would have liked to. If you cannot do in the first year, make sure you get it done that second year. Just making sure you're keeping on top of it, going on Google, going on Safari, keeping up to date, looking at guides, making sure that you are doing everything you should do in each season in order to finish the community center for that season. It is really pivotal to your progress because the community center unlocks a bunch of things in the bundles, or even if you finish it, you get Ginger Island. You're really going to want to complete this as soon as you can. I promise you, it'll progress you so much faster in this game. Tip number 14 is going to be to make sure you unlock the Ginger Island obelisk as fast as you can after unlocking Ginger Island. This is because having to go to the beach every day to travel Ginger Island and on top of that pay the 1,000, it can just be a serious hassle and it just takes time and money. And then if you don't have the return scepter, you have to go back to Willy. It's just such a drag. So go to Ginger Island, go to the volcano, get the dragon's teeth as fast as you can, unlock this obelisk. It takes dragon teeth, banana, and just money. So plant the banana tree as fast as you can, get the dragon tooth. I promise you having this obelisk will save you so much time. It saved me so much time in my run, and seriously, this obelisk is probably the best thing that I invested in at the time for Ginger Island. It just saved me so much time. The last and final tip in Stardew Valley I'm going to give you is to always make sure you're having fun. I know this is kind of a bad one. You guys might think it's bad, but it is really important because if you're progressing fast and you're starting to enjoy the game, there's no point in playing the game. So make sure you're having fun while you're doing it and doing the things that you want to do. And my advice would be not to do something for too long. Mine for one day, farm another, talk to villagers another. Keep doing things that will make your standards high in Stardew Valley and keep you entertained. So at the end of the day, this is a really amazing game that can be really enjoyable if you play it and play it right and just keep giving yourself things to do rather than burning out doing one thing. So yeah, that is going to be my last tip, and the most important tip is to have fun when you're playing Stardew Valley. That is going to be it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. These are some of the tips that helped me progress fast in my Stardew Valley gameplay, and some things that I would have done different if I did play it again, which I might, and I will for sure do these tips. So yeah, use these tips when you're doing your Stardew Valley, whether it's early, late, or mid-game. These tips can help you progress fast and can just overall make your Stardew Valley experience way better. I want to thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all the support. Subscribe if you're new. Project Mick out.